So I'm Nicole from Low Income Relief. That's how I was introduce myself. On a personal note, obviously I'm a content creator. I do YouTube websites. My background, sorry, is actually in journalism, is how I got started. I've started working as a journalist when I was 17. I've always loved writing, especially writing things that were impactful and helpful to other people. Um, I got married very young. My husband went into the military and he was actually injured in training. And so he was medically discharged from the military. And that kind of upended my entire vision for my life. He was too disabled to keep working. He ended up on disability, and writing for newspapers just wasn't enough to pay the bills, really. And we were struggling to get by. Um, we ended up in this situation shortly after his discharge where we were 2 weeks away from being homeless. Basically, we'd been couch surfing with family and friends, and we both had jobs, but it just wasn't enough. And things were looking pretty bleak. And so I did what I do best. I went to the library. I started doing research, trying to find solutions. And it was the first time in my life that I started encountering things like Section 8 housing, low income housing, food stamps, all of these resources that were out there that I didn't know about, that the people in my life didn't know about. And through a series of absolute miracles and community organizations, we were able to pull together enough funds to be able to get into a low income apartment in the next town over, which just fundamentally changed everything for us. Like, we were one day looking at possibly having to live in our car with our kid. And then within 2 weeks, we had this beautiful townhouse. There were agencies that gave us food and furniture and everything we needed to get back on our feet so that we could put our lives back together and move forward in a way that would help us be successful. So that was kind of my first experience with low income resources. And after that, because we'd pulled off this incredible miracle, a lot of my friends and family would come to me and be like, hey, I need help with this crisis situation. Can you help me figure this out? And so then I would go and I would find resources and do the same process and give them a list of places they could go for help. And about the 12th time I was asked for help paying rent in a certain city, I was like, you know what? I'm going to just buy a website and I will put everything I find on the website, and then you don't have to call me anymore. And it'll just all be right there for you, and it'll be easy to find. It'll be great. And so I bought LowIncomeRelief.com. And I think I had 5 articles on the site when it just went viral, because it turns out that my family and friends weren't the only ones who needed help with these things. So it took off. We started getting requests from, I thought when I started it that it was just going to be for my family and friends, right? Like, I was just doing this to make their lives easier. And then I started getting requests from other places in Washington State and other people who needed help. And then it started to go nationwide, and I started getting requests from everywhere from Hawaii to New York to Florida and everywhere. And that's how I ended up doing this. So I've been doing it full time since it went viral. So our goal as an organization is just to make low income resources more accessible to the people who need them, because these programs are out there and they exist, but the government and the nonprofits that offer them often speak a different language than the people who are looking for help and who need them. And so we kind of bridge the gap as translators between this is what you're looking for, this is what it's called, and here's how you access it. So that's what we do and why we do it, I guess.